So today we're going to be repairing some hollow doors. We've got a door here that's got one big hole and about 10 little holes in it. And you can buy new ones or you can fix them. There's going to be a video on how to fix them because every door in this house has a ton of holes in them. This one has 10 all total. And 11, sorry.
Or 12. I think it was 12. Yeah, it was 12.
I'm going to be fixing it with spray foam. And I'm going to show you all how to use a spray gun. If you don't have it, you can just use a normal spray can. Once that's dry, we're going to scrape that off. We're going to put some spackle. We're going to skid it over with a 10-inch knife. It shouldn't be bad. Probably going to end up skimming most of the door. We're going to rebuild, just kind of repair anything, you know, and putting foam in a door, it's not bad. That's how the most of them come now. But these older ones, they're hollow, and we'll just end up using a little bit of spray foam. It's quick, it's easy, it's cheap. You can get a brand new door out of it. All right, thank you. So I went ahead and sprayed some of the smaller ones. What I'm using this spray foam gun, AWF Pro. I got it on Amazon for, I was like $35. It wasn't much. And it come with two of these gaps and cracks. Now, I've used this can now. This is the same can that I did almost my entire kitchen with. These cans go forever and you can reuse them. It's the same can I used 3 weeks ago. It instead of buying the normal ones, you know, it's a one-time use, or you can try to clean them out, but they're not worth it. Buy these. If you do a lot of spray foaming, this is the best tool you'll ever have. I don't know how I lasted this long without it, but I bought it a month ago. One of the best things I've ever bought. So I sprayed these smaller ones. It's got a really fine tip. It's also got other nozzles that come with it, but I just kind of shoved it in there and sprayed it. Now this one was through and through. So what we did is we backed it up with a couple pieces of blue tape, that one and that one. That'll just prevent it from doing too much overspray. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill it. So that's enough for it to kind of expand all the way out. And now we wait. All right, so it's been about 30 minutes or so. I put quite a bit in here. We tried to do another video a little bit earlier, but it was still soft. So basically I'll just take a razor blade, stand it up, run it along the door like this. We'll cut it back. And we'll cut everything out of the way. I got this paint that keeps on running. Cut that out. All right, let me go ahead and peel it now.
Can I peel?
All right, so we'll end up hitting this with some primer. We'll cut back all the loose stuff. But now what we've got is we've got something to back up with. Run it along again. You don't want anything sticking up or the fibers will show through your painting. Now I'm just going to rub in. Just going to hit this with some spackle. Run it along it. And then we'll stand the blade up for a scrape. All right, so we've already done the rest of the door. All the rest of the door has already been done. And you sand that down, you paint it. Kind of get it smooth. We're going to cut all this loose paint off, get all this garbage off. We're going to prime it with some Zinsser bin primer, that's what I use for my doors, cabinets, and everything else. It doesn't peel off like all this stuff. This is just latex paint that they painted the door with. It just makes it so much worse because it's not a good paint for doors and for this stuff. That's why it just peels off so easily. There's no primer. For doors, cabinets, trim, things like that, you don't want to use the paint and primer all in one. You want to use actual primer. And so far, Zinsser bin primer has been the best I've seen. They've got an oil and a water-based. I just redid my cabinets. We used the water base. We We made a mistake. We definitely should have used the oil-based. It turned out really good, really well, but we'll end up having to peel these doors and get all this off. But it comes off in big sheets, so it won't be much of a task. But
I made a connection. On this door, they decided to scratch in the name Trenton Miller. I love you, Trenton. I love you, Trenton. Just written everywhere.
But yes, Trenton Miller, whoever had this door before, I definitely like to write their name on everything. But yeah, we'll go ahead and pause it here, and we'll show you what it looks like when it's all done. All right, so ended up kind of coming into a situation where every time we drug our 10-inch knife over the door, we ended up starting to get a whole bunch of, basically just all the latex paint was coming off and peeling. So ended up basically to start to peel it. This is our hole we filled, and we lost some of our spackle when we peeled the paint off. But we ended up basically peeling all the paint off the door. It only took us probably 4 or 5 minutes. I'll show you how we did it that fast on the other side. It's really easy. Latex paint comes off really, really easy. Now we have this side to do, which should be about the same. Here's our backer tape. We'll go ahead and peel it off. We'll cut that back a little bit. We'll cut this back a little bit, so. All right, we'll start steaming, and I'll show you how this didn't work out the way we planned, which is, if you've ever done any remodeling, you know our pain. This side, 2 minutes, no problem, peeled off in sheets. This side, horrible, horrible. We scraped, we sanded. 3 minutes, 30 minutes.
That actually took like an hour.
But it's done. We ended up sanding everything down because this side was applied really, really thin, and the other side was really thick, so we had a good latex layer we could pull off of. This side, not at all. But if you remember, this here used to be a full hole all the way through. It's now fixed. We've got all of our holes are filled. Everything's filled. We're ready to go ahead and hit it with some primer. As I said before, if you're gonna paint doors, use a good primer. You use Zinsser bin. If you don't have a sprayer, I typically spray everything, but if you don't have a sprayer, Zinsser makes these. These are amazing. So we just got it first layer of primer on. That Zinsser can exploded. It was no good. That was a bad can. That is paint. And I got the rest of it. But the repair is good. Door looks, this is how it looks with a can of, with a light coat of primer on it. That's the before with the holes. So it's not a bad way. Spray foam, spackle, sanding, not bad. All right, thank y'all for watching. Please subscribe. Hope it helps a little bit.